Hello, my name is Carletta Mack, and this module is on human resources. The objectives for this module is to introduce you to Covenant House Alaska's human resources policies and procedures as it relates to employees and volunteers. To introduce you to Covenant House Alaska's vision to provide a workplace that prohibits discrimination, harassment, misconduct, and is respectful of the confidentiality of our youth, staff, and volunteers, conducting all levels of business and services in an ethical and transparent manner. Expectations of employees and volunteers in interacting with Covenant House clients, performance of duties, and delivery of services. And an overview of benefits provided to employees and who is eligible based on employment status. We will start by talking about equal opportunity employment. Covenant House prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, sex, color, age, religion, marital status or change in marital status, pregnancy, parenthood, national origin, sexual orientation, citizenship, and the presence of any physical or mental disability in recruitment, hiring, promotion, termination, and any other aspect of employment. The next topic is our anti-harassment policy. Covenant House Alaska prohibits harassment of or by any employee, supervisor, volunteer, or any person doing business with the agency. All complaints received by supervisors and our department directors are to be immediately reported to the Human Resources Department, Chief Operating Officer, or Chief Executive Officer. Our next topic is confidentiality. Confidential material is not to be discussed within or outside Covenant House Alaska except when necessary in the performance of duty and the delivery of service to clients. All requests for information regarding residents and ex-residents must be channeled to the appropriate program director or program coordinator. Our next section is on reporting cases of abuse, neglect, and assault. As an employee or volunteer of Covenant House Alaska, Alaska law requires that all medical and health personnel and child care workers formally report cases of abuse or suspected neglect of children and elderly persons to state authority. In our case, that is the Office of Children's Services or Adult Protective Services. As an employee and or volunteer of Covenant House Alaska, you are a mandated reporter. In your packet, you will find state regulations around mandated reporting and a handout that we use to complete a report of harm. The section we're about to discuss now is relationships of employees and volunteers with clients. Covenant House Alaska employees and volunteers are expected to act in a professional manner and will be respectful, consistent, and objective in their interactions with Covenant House Alaska youth. Employees and volunteers will initiate no personal contact with residents or ex-residents outside of Covenant House. Personal contact is defined as social or clinical contact outside of the agency setting, or sexual contact at any time, and includes phone calls, electronic communication, including Facebook, face-to-face contact, or an exchange of gifts of any kind. Reporting allegations of misconduct. All allegations of serious misconduct involving any past or present employee or volunteer must be immediately reported to the Chief Operating Officer and/or the Chief Executive Officer. The next section is on our child protection system. Covenant House Alaska is part of a national organization called Covenant House International, and our child protection system is facilitated through our corporate headquarters. The vision for our child protection system is a unified child protection system will help us to ensure safety at each program location. Locally and internationally, it will enable us to assess our progress and success in promoting a safe environment, support the efforts of workers by providing them with the proper training and toolkit to turn the policies and procedures into an active living system, encourage the prompt reporting and documentation of incidents of abuse and misconduct, and provide better oversight and governance of each site's safety measures through a coordinated effort spearheaded by leadership at Covenant House International. The purpose is to create a practice framework through a shared core of policies and procedures designed to strengthen safety measures intended to safeguard all the youth served by Covenant House International and all of its affiliated sites. Design and implement an affiliate-wide child protection system that will improve the organization's goals of maintaining youth safety and better identify, report, and investigate unusual incidences relating to child protection within the agency. As part of your onboarding, you will be provided with Covenant House Alaska's Child Protection System Policy and Procedure Manual. You will be required to sign specific policies, for example, the Code of Conduct and the Social Networking Code of Conduct. You will also be required to complete the Artemis Presidium online training as part of your onboarding. The Human Resources Department will provide you with the link to complete the training. A part of our child protection system is our whistleblower system. Covenant House is committed to providing a safe and secure environment for the young people we serve and to ensuring ethical conduct in all aspects of agency operations. New employees, volunteers, interns, and faith community members must be provided with information and training on how to use the whistleblower system when they join Covenant House. Existing employees, volunteers, interns, and faith community members must be brought up to date in whistleblower system training and be retrained annually. Additionally, information on the whistleblower system must be displayed in a minimum of 2 designated staff areas. Sites must follow local, state, federal, and provincial whistleblower laws in addition to the whistleblower system. At Covenant House Alaska, you will find ethics point flyers throughout the organization. For example, at the Youth Engagement Center located at 755 A Street, the whistleblower system flyer is located in the upstairs workroom. The whistleblower system is facilitated by Ethics Point and provides employees with a 1-800 number or website where they are able to file a confidential report, which can be used for any concerns of misconduct, for example. And now we're going to discuss our drug and alcohol policy. It is Covenant House Alaska's desire to provide a drug-free, healthy, and safe workplace. To promote this goal, employees are required to report to work in appropriate physical condition to perform their jobs in a satisfactory manner. While on Covenant House Alaska premises and while conducting business-related activities off the premises, no employee may use, possess, distribute, sell, or be under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, or any illegal drugs. Violations of this policy may lead to disciplinary action up to and including immediate termination of employment and a required participation in a substance abuse rehabilitation or treatment program. In regards to Ballot Measure 2, employees and volunteers cannot possess or consume marijuana on property or at business-related activities off the premises without violating agency policy. Within Alaska, the regulations governing the use of marijuana off agency property are still unclear. However, public consumption of marijuana is banned and consumption is also limited to adults 21 years of age or older. Covenant House Alaska has a dress code for youth and staff. Walking shorts, skirts, and skirts will be no shorter than 2 inches above the knee. No oversized or sagging clothing. Underwear must not be showing at any time. Low-cut blouses, t-shirts with armholes cut out, or sheer mesh see-through shirts are not to be worn. No tank tops, halter tops, crop tops, tube tops, white tees, or any other top that leaves the shoulder or midriff exposed. Undergarments are not to be shown at any time. No clothing with depicting violence, weapons, profanity, vulgarities, or clothing advertising alcohol, tobacco, or drugs, or pictures, logos related to such items or organization groups. No bandanas, rags, scarves, or gang-related decorative articles. No sunglasses inside the building unless medically required. No pajama bottoms or anything that resembles pajama bottoms. Footwear must be worn at all times. No flip-flops, please. Underwear must not be showing at any time. Covenant House Alaska vehicles. Covenant House Alaska vehicles can only be operated by employees. Employees using an agency vehicle or another vehicle for the purposes of conducting agency business must have a current driver's license and provide a DMV driving record. Employees driving privately owned vehicles will maintain current registration and automobile insurance in the amounts required by law. Employees are not allowed to transport Covenant House Alaska youth in their privately owned vehicles unless specifically permitted for their position. This will be identified upon hire. When using agency vehicles, request use via calendar, complete transit log, and report any maintenance or repairs immediately to support services. Hello. This next section is Human Resources Part 2, specifically for employees who are full-time, part-time, and/or on-call. Employment. Employment with Covenant House Alaska is based on mutual consent. Both the employee and Covenant House Alaska have the right to terminate employment at will with or without cause at any time. Positions are regular full-time, part-time, temporary, individual contractor, and on-call. All positions are identified upon hire and as a part of your data change form. Position descriptions outline general duties and responsibilities in writing. Employees will receive and sign a copy of their position description as part of their new hire packet. The number and specified time of work hours per week will depend on the position and program area to which the employee is assigned. Overtime. The agency's goal is to have an adequate level of staffing so that overtime will not be necessary. However, emergency situations requiring overtime to occur. Overtime is paid to non-exempt hourly employees who work in excess of 8 or 10 hours in a day or 40 hours in a work week. Overtime work must be approved by the employee's supervisor before overtime pay can be authorized. Job shadow and training. All new program employees require 16 to 20 hours of job shadow training at each program. As part of your job shadow and training, you will be able to have a site visit for all of our program locations. This will be facilitated by your supervisor. Regularly scheduled training is offered and mandatory throughout the year for licensing purposes. All staff are required to complete a minimum of 15 hours of training each year. This includes medication training and training around child protection policies. All staff and on-call staff meetings are expected to be attended by employees on a monthly basis. This next section is on performance evaluations. A performance evaluation will be completed by the employee supervisor after the first 3 months, 6 months, and first year of employment. An individual goal and development plan will be created by you and your supervisor at the beginning of employment. After the first year of employment in a position, performance evaluations will be conducted annually by July 1st. The process of completing the 6-month annual evaluation: employees will complete the employee section of the form, the supervisor will complete the manager section of the form, the employee and supervisor meet to review and finalize, agree upon, and complete the individual goal development form. Please submit to HR by June 15th. HR will complete data change form for salary increase if applicable. This next section is on absences. Administrative staff who are ill are required to notify the supervisor by 9 a.m. on the first day of illness and on each succeeding day, unless informed otherwise. Direct program staff who are ill are required to notify their supervisor at least 6 hours prior to the beginning of the shift each day, unless the supervisor has previously been notified of the absence. Failure to do so may result in disciplinary action. Absences of 3 or more consecutive days require a medical certificate or doctor's note to be submitted to Human Resources. Employees may be asked to provide a medical certificate verifying fitness to return to work. Absences of more than 2 days without notification to your supervisor or Human Resources will be considered as a voluntary resignation. No call, no show. Covenant House Alaska provides employee benefits for regular full-time and part-time employees. Following is a brief summary. Workers' compensation. Workers' compensation is a system which requires your employer to pay your medical costs and part of your lost wages if you are injured on the job. Workers' compensation also mandates the payment of benefits to dependents in the case of work-related death. For more information, please email workerscomp@alaska.gov or contact the Human Resources Department. If at any point you are injured while you are at work, we request that you contact Human Resources Department immediately so that we can assist you in completing the workers' compensation paperwork in a timely manner. When you are eligible, employees become eligible for insurance benefits on the first day of the month following 2 consecutive months of employment, 60 days. The following slides will provide a summary of all benefits provided to employees. So coverage that is provided. Covenant House Alaska provides basic group life. Basic group life insurance is equal to 1 times the employee's annual base pay, rounded up to the next $1,000. Basic group accidental death and dismemberment. Insurance is equal to 1 times the employee's annual base pay, rounded up to the next $1,000. Long-term disability. Long-term disability is insurance that pays up to 2/3 of the employee's monthly base pay. This insurance covers the employee following a consecutive 6-month period where the employee has been totally disabled. Additional coverage provided includes medical insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, flex plan services, and a retirement plan. All coverage provided will be discussed with you one-on-one through the Human Resources Department as part of your onboarding. Personal days off. Covenant House Alaska provides personal days off, which are intended to provide for vacation leave, sick leave, and holiday leave. Accrual for full-time employees begins at the time of employment on a prorated basis according to the following schedule. Your first 12 months of service is 8 hours of pay period. From 13 to 60 months, it is 10 hours of pay period. After 5 years of service, you receive 12 hours of pay period. PTO may be carried over beyond the calendar year. However, employees may not have more than 200 hours of personal days off at any time. All accrued and unused PTO are up to a maximum of 200 hours shall be paid upon termination. In addition to your personal days off, Covenant House does offer additional leave options. Leave cash-in, extended sick leave, bereavement leave, leave related to military service, a leave of absence, family and medical leave, jury duty, and holidays. Please see your personnel handbook for more details and/or contact Human Resources if you have any questions. Payroll. Time record. Clocking in and out for shifts is completed via ADP and is updated to the accounting office automatically. If you notice any discrepancies on your timesheet, contact accounting for information or your direct supervisor. You have multiple options for clocking in and out. You can download the ADP app, you can use the ADP portal via the website, or the ADP time clock located in the break room. Pay periods. Employees are paid every 2 weeks. Pay periods begin on Sunday at 12 a.m. and end on Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Direct deposit will be distributed by the accounting office on the following Thursday after 10 a.m. As part of your onboarding, you will receive information regarding direct payroll deposit, including a direct payroll deposit enrollment form. Please complete, and it will be submitted directly to accounting to process future payroll. Our final subject is termination. So there are 2 types of termination within Covenant House Alaska. There is voluntary termination. Notice must be in writing and submitted to their appropriate supervisor, who will forward the information to the Human Resources Office for processing. Involuntary resignation. Since employment with Covenant House Alaska is based on mutual consent, both the employee and Covenant House Alaska have the right to terminate employment at will, with or without cause, at any time. Employees will receive their final pay in accordance with applicable state law. Exit interview. Employees are required to schedule an exit interview with the Human Resources Office prior to the last day of work and to obtain information regarding continuation of insurance coverage, which is called COBRA, and other procedures including final paycheck distribution, key and identification badge return. And that concludes this section on Human Resources. Thank you again for joining Covenant House Alaska.